tutorial we're going to look at barricades. Now, barricades is a very common scenario in IPSC shooting. You're going to see a lot of these in the matches. Having to shoot around the corner of a barricade is something you really have to get a handle on and learn to do well and with confidence. Usually the setup will have a fault line on the floor and the edge of the barricade to shoot around. Either a difficult lean or an easy lean depending on the position of the targets. The first thing to be aware of is not to set up too close to the barricade. It's a very common mistake. If you set up too close to the barricade, when you try to get your sight picture around the corner of the barricade, you're going to end up leaning backwards. Anytime you find yourself shooting leaning backwards, you're doing something wrong. Make sure you set up further away from the barricade. The correct distance is about the length of your arm, so that as you lean around the corner of the barricade to engage targets, you can lean forward into the recoil of the gun rather than leaning around. Leaning forward will always give you a better control on your recoil. So set up the correct distance from the barricade. It's obviously real important the way you set up your feet around the edge of the barricade. Especially when you have a tight lean, you want to make sure you use all the space that you have. So standing on the fault line is usually a good idea. But make sure you're in the habit of keeping the heel of your shoe down on the ground on the inside. Never try to balance on the fault line because you too easily will find your foot rolling out and touching down on the outside, which obviously is a foot fault. So make sure you remain with your heel on the inside. This will allow you to put your foot on the barricade and lean over with confidence, knowing that your toes remain up and off the ground. As you move up towards the barricade, you must have in mind and you must visualize where that first target you choose to engage is going to be. This is all about preparation. You have to make sure that during your walkthrough, you pay attention to where that target is going to show itself as it comes around, as you approach the barricade and the target becomes visible. When you're moving towards your position, keep your eyes on the fault line. That's where you want to hit with your foot. That position is critical. And remember, bring your hands together and bring the gun up into the high ready position as you approach the position so that your foot touches down and you extend out towards your first target. You know where it's going to be because you prepared for it. Making sure you're not too close to the barricade will allow you to lean forward as you fire the shots, retaining good recoil control. Another important challenge to master when shooting around barricades is exiting the position. You may find yourself in a situation where the last target requires a very hard lean around the barricade. So you're going to have your center of gravity leaning far out around the barricade as you engage the last target. And now you have to go that way. A good technique to do this is to step out after firing the last shot, of course. Step out over the line and then push yourself in the direction that you're going. That'll give you a head start in leaving the position. So if you have to exit the position and you finish up on a hard lean target, stepping over the line is a good option to push yourself in the direction that you need to go. But make sure you fire that last shot before you step out. You are allowed to step over the line as long as you're not shooting. So here it goes. And this way I can get going in the direction that I need to be a lot more efficiently. Make sure as you move towards the position that you know exactly where that first target is going to be, where it's going to be positioned in relation to the edge of the barricade as you clear around the corner. Look at the fault line as you approach the position so you know where to position your feet. Here we go. Practice shooting barricades. It's something that you're going to see a lot of, and you have to be comfortable shooting in a leaning position, both to the right and the left of the barricades.